Victory Monday here for the 49ers. They improved them, or they start the season off 1-0, 30-7 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're up 30-7 early in the third quarter. First drive out of halftime, we were all on the thread to say, you know what? First drive out of halftime, big drive in the game. Will you stop the momentum of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who got a little touchdown before halftime to feel good about themselves? They get a stop. They get the ball back. Who knows if they score? It turns it into a one-possession game. But the Niners, they nipped that in the bud right away. 10-yard catch. 10-yard catch by Deebo Samuel for Brock Purdy. And then, of course, a 65-yard touchdown for Chris McCaffrey. Great blocks down the field for Brandon Ayuk and Ray McLeod. And the rest is history. That's how you dominate on the road to start the season.
What did you make of the Athletic did an article about the playmakers, which is
Right.
Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur, and Mike McDaniels. All these guys that kind of forged their football being in Washington under Mike Shanahan. All those guys scored 30-plus yesterday.
Wow.
And it felt like offense was at a premium for the most part yesterday. It was really difficult for teams to find
Wait,
consistent.
you said all the assistants score 30?
What?
You said all the who scored 30?
So McDaniels,
Yeah.
McVay, LaFleur,
Oh, McVay. They did get to 30 at the end. That's right. I was thinking
and
27-13.
Shanahan. They all got to 30. Did you make anything of that?
No, I didn't make anything of it, but the Rams, we both discussed, don't really want to sleep on them. Now, am I shocked?
Kyron Williams looked good.
Well, I'm shocked they beat up Seattle. I mean, Seattle may or may not, may not put some chicken on them yesterday. But
You put money on Seattle?
yeah, I did.
Yeah, I went 1-1 on my bets.
Yeah, I know. Texas.
I hate them.
No, the Rams surprised the heck out. But we both said that, you know what? It's still a little too quiet in L.A. Something's happening down there.
Stafford looked good.
And Stafford looked great.
He looked good.
They look great. The Green Bay Packers, who we've talked about a lot.
You've been on this account.
Just don't sleep on the Packers this year. I don't think there's going to be a lot of drop-off from Jordan Love or from Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. They didn't have Christian Watson yesterday. And by the way, Justin Fields looked awful. They may be talking about a quarterback change in Chicago very, very soon.
He's really stuck his chest out and been flamboyant in terms of how good he's going to be and everything. And the guy's a great runner. Turning his back to the defense like Jordan Love did in terms of the play-action game, that's just never going to be his strength.
No.
He doesn't see the field. I don't love his throwing motion. And the thing is I'm rooting for the guy, but man, he just can't throw.
No, he can't. He can't. And we've got to be lucky because a lot of barbershop, who'd you rather have? Brock Purdy, Justin Fields, Brock Purdy, this guy.
Brock Purdy.
You know what? Brock Purdy's the right guy for this system.
Absolutely.
He looks like he's in total command of the offense. And the vibes I had with Jimmy back in 2017 when he started those first 5 games and they go 5-0, I get that same type of feel for Brock Purdy, although I feel like Purdy can move around a lot. He can improvise a lot better than Jimmy. He can improvise and he keeps his eyes down the field. One of those plays in Deebo Samuel, he's rolling out to the left. Defender's right there in his face. He stops on the dive. Boom, there's Deebo. First down. I thought Brock Purdy was in total command. There's no issues with the elbow. He made all the throws. Now, did he push the ball downfield yesterday? No, he didn't, but he didn't have to.
Well, the 20-yard pass to Ayuk was a beautifully thrown ball.
That was one
only
ball.
Ayuk was going to catch it.
That was only one ball right there, and Ayuk was going to catch it. You take your shots when they're presented to you. I thought he hit a nice 20-yarder over the middle to Deebo Samuel over an outstretched linebacker's hands. I thought Brock Purdy was in total command.
Well,
he was a master. He played some very good quarterback yesterday.
I'm glad you're bringing this up because yesterday you're looking at Kenny Pickett, who's a first-round pick, right? And I know once you start to play in the league, the draft status means nothing.
Right.
And I understand that, but we're all hyped up over Caleb and Penix and May and Sanders' kid, and there's like 9 guys that everyone thinks going to be in the first 2 days of the draft. It really, okay, it makes a lot of sense. I understand why. Can you play?
Yep.
Right? And I'm looking at obviously Trey's name got brought up yesterday during the broadcast, which people can be triggered. The broadcasters are going to bring it up because what the Niners have done is pretty incredible. They whiffed on a number 3 overall pick. And it means nothing.
You know what it is?
It means nothing because they found Purdy.
You know what it is? It's a free roll of the dice the Niners had.
What do you mean?
What I mean, with Trey Lance, they said, you know what? We have this stacked team. We're going to need a quarterback on a rookie deal to keep most of these players together, like Nick Bosa, George Kittle, Fred Warner, and Deebo, and all that stuff. So they had the foresight to know that they needed a rookie quarterback. Now, they whiff on Trey Lance, but here we are in 2023 saying, you know what? That was just free roll of the dice. You crapped out on it, But is it going to hurt us in 2023?
Not really.
Is it going to hurt us in 2024?
I don't think it's hurt them at all. Like, you could say, Joe, they could use that first rounder in terms of depth. And look, I will listen to that. There's no doubt. But, like, go around the league yesterday. You're watching it. Does Purdy, in this system, doesn't Purdy look a lot better than Mac Jones?
Absolutely.
Okay, doesn't Purdy look a lot better than Justin Fields?
Absolutely.
Okay, he looks a lot better. Just go around. Kenny
Pickett. He looked
Pickett.
like a top 10 quarterback yesterday. He looked better than Russell Wilson in Denver.
Who's arguing that?
Right, nobody.
Well, I think Russ is.
He looked better than Geno yesterday.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, he looked better than a lot. Joe Burrow. Now, he's not better than Joe Burrow.
No, he's
but
not.
Joe Burrow can do anything yesterday in Cleveland.
No.
Nothing.
I mean, Tannehill, like right now, the Tennessee Titans, if I told them they could have Brock Purdy or Tannehill, I think they're taking Brock Purdy. I really do.
There's a lot of people, no doubt.
I think they are.
Yep.
So the point that I'm getting at is and I do this. I'm so guilty of this. Oh, Caleb Williams. Look, Caleb Williams is playing like video games. I'm watching him over the weekend, and look, and I want him, to go to the right situation and become the next Mahomes. Do you know how hard it is to be the next Mahomes?
Oh,
But for what Purdy has done to be the Brock Purdy that he is, he's outstanding. And it's the perfect team with the perfect guy blending right now. And I'm watching this guy, and the offense just hums. Stop telling me what he isn't. He's not 6'4", and he doesn't throw the ball 50 million miles per hour.
I don't care.
So what? They win and kick the crap out of everyone.
Well, I don't care about that. I care about the relationship between Shanahan and Brock Purdy. And the relationship between Shanahan and Brock Purdy is as tight as it's ever been with Shanahan and a quarterback.
They never got there. Through 30 times.
Yeah, they never got there with Jimmy Garoppolo. The balance was there yesterday offensively.
Yes.
And they shut the playbook down. But I love here's the thing. We've seen it now over and over with Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan. The Dallas game in the divisional round. Couple third downs there late in the game. We saw that same situation with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'm not trying to kick Jimmy Garoppolo now that he's gone. Jimmy Garoppolo did his thing with the Las Vegas Raiders yesterday. They got a win. Good for them. But Purdy was allowed to throw the ball on 2 key third downs against the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round. When you think about the year before in the playoffs, those same third downs, Shanahan was running the ball. Now, you could say maybe Jimmy was hurt.
Agreed.
But I thought the trust factor with Jimmy Garoppolo and Shanahan was non-existent. That trust is there with Brock Purdy. And you saw it on the first drive. 4th and 2. There was no doubt in Shanahan's mind he was going to go for it. Nice play action pass. You find George Kittle in the flat. Boom, first down. And you move on. Shanahan trusts Brock Purdy. And he pays off that trust by making the right play. Throwing that ball over the middle of the field for the first touchdown to Brandon Ayuk. The consistency with Brock Purdy that he plays at. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't throw the no-throw Shasky. And he buys time the right way. He knows when to throw it out.
Yes.
He knows when to scramble for 4 yards. Brock Purdy right now is in the zone. And I'm riding with Brock.
But there's one area, and this is not a Brock thing. He and the team have to protect him. He cannot take the kind of hits that he took yesterday. Again, it's TJ Watt. I acknowledge that. They've got to protect this man. And that, to me, is a very important thing as the year goes on, minimizing the amount of just blows this guy takes.
Well, not only
and that would be any quarterback. It's not Brock specific.
But you know what, though? That's any quarterback, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Any quarterback needs protection.
Absolutely.
Every quarterback needs protection.
They hit Kenny Pickett, I counted 25 times yesterday.
He got sacked 5.
He got hit a lot.
Wait, did he get sacked 5 or 7?
I thought it was more than that.
He got sacked 5 times for 34 yards.
They might have called one back then.
So Brock Purdy and again, it's the array of weapons. This is something that we went back and forth on at training camp, and I was, for the life of me, I'm thinking to myself, why aren't we more excited about this offense? Because you saw it yesterday with the weapons that they have, and I know 30 is an astronomical number, and I'm just not throwing that out there saying that they can average 30 a game. They averaged 29.9 in 2019, and that offense was stagnant at times. At times, they were constipated. I
mean, they had a rookie Debo wide receiver as their number one.
And Debo and Emmanuel Sanders was there.
And Kittle missed time.
Exactly. Now you got this offense, and Debo's in phenomenal shape. They talked about it on the broadcast. He's got the captain's patch. Brandon Ayuk is taking another level. And right now, today, I'd rather have Brandon Ayuk than CeeDee Lamb because of what he does in the run game. Brandon Ayuk gets it. He's a tough SOB. Now, CeeDee Lamb's a baller, too, and I love CeeDee. But you can make the argument that you'd rather have Brandon Ayuk, and I'm cool with that. These wide receivers complement each other perfectly. Then you got the Christian McCaffrey factor, and George Kittle's going to get right. This offense, I'm telling you, I haven't been this excited about a 49ers offense since basically 1998. This offense is going to dissect teams, man. They're going to be explosive. Now, it may not happen next week in a divisional game against the Rams. Those games are like backyard brawls. But this offense, man, They can average 28 to 30 points a game. Easy.
It felt like Ray McLeod was about to bust one, too, in the punt game.
Almost.
Like
nice little 20-yard return.
He's a nice player. I like Ray McLeod. I know we don't talk about him a lot because of all these other headliners that they have. Their field position game yesterday was outstanding. At one point, I think the Steelers this was like midway through the third quarter. Like the average starting spot for the Steelers is the 17-yard line.
And the Niners are like their own 45.
Yeah, it was incredible. But that's defense and special teams because those are areas that I don't know. They didn't stuff the run in the preseason. Right. Well, clearly throw that out the window. That meant nothing. No, because Armstead and Javon Hargrave were outstanding, and the linebackers were outstanding.
And Bosa's there.
Yeah, and Bosa's
there. That's why I never worry about, oh, man, we're giving up yards. It's just preseason football. That's why preseason, I'm telling you, next year I'm taking time off preseason. It jumped the shark this year. We preseason, Kenny Pickett went 13-15 in the preseason, was the highest-rated quarterback of the preseason. How did he look yesterday?
Well, to be fair, I think the way that Shanahan played it this year was the way that he should do it moving forward. A drive here, a drive there, because I think it was good. Purdy looked so ready to go, and I think that those two drives. You could say, Joe, that's so dumb. It's practice. I think those two drives in preseason did help them. But they looked fluid.
But you know what? They always throw their starters in there for the preseason. Jimmy always played in the preseason.
Yeah,
Trey always played in the preseason. This big misnomer that they don't play in the preseason. I watched Jimmy play drives at Kansas City. I watched him play
that's true.
in Denver, at home, back and forth with Trey Lance in the Raider game. Shanahan gives his starters a drive or two every single preseason game, with the exception of the first one of the season.
I just don't remember Debo playing last year, so maybe I'm misremembering it.
Debo was out of shape too. Remember, he had the hamstring. So you didn't want to push him. He played the Texans game, the third preseason game, when everybody went crazy on Trey Lance in that game. So